How's it going, guys? It's me, PJ, Grateful Trucker. I'm currently in Atlanta, Georgia, trying to get back home to London, Kentucky. I took off last night from London at about 12:30, 1 o'clock, and it was a pretty smooth ride the whole way. I love driving at night for that specific reason, because everybody's snoozing. And 285 here in Atlanta was actually pretty tame. It's not very often that happens, especially in the morning. But I had a quick unload, and the place where I picked up at was pretty smooth as well. It's about 9:30 now, and I've got plenty of time left to get back to Kentucky. I'm on 285 right now, and we're moving pretty good. You know, we're doing the speed limit, so that's really all I can ever ask for. Just as long as we're moving, you know. Because if you've ever drove 285 in Atlanta, you know it can be a bit of a hassle, we'll say, sometimes. You know, it seems like there's always some sort of backup somewhere, and maybe I've spoken too soon, and, you know, about a mile up the road there's a 40 car pileup or something like that. But I'm hoping not. We'll see. All I gotta do is get to 75, and it's a straight shot home. I just gotta get through Chattanooga, Tennessee, and Knoxville, Tennessee, and those are the two real major cities in between me and home. So I'm pretty optimistic things are going to go well today. And but yeah, it's nice. It's kind of overcast today. It's not the blue skies I like to drive under, but at least it ain't snowing. I'll take that. I'll have more than my fair share of snow in Canada this winter anyway. And I swear, I think I spoke too soon, because we are about to start crawling up here. I had to open my big damn mouth. Oh yeah. Beautiful. I called it. I knew it. Deep down, I wanted to hold on to that optimism. Dashed immediately. You know, you could be like a lot of people and get all stubbed up and pissed off that, you know, that does no good for anybody. And, you know, my only goal doing all this is to be able to get back home at the end of the day. So if that means I gotta do 9 miles an hour all the way through Atlanta, I'll do it. I'll turn on some ukulele music and just cruise. There's a couple things that, if you know me at all, you know that I can't stand, that I cannot abide these 3 or 4 things. Number one, it's not putting your grocery carts up. You unload your groceries, you put the cart up. Those are basic tenets of human society. And if we can't do those things, then society as we know it will unravel at the seams. There will be anarchy and chaos. I can't stand it. Number 2, this is a real big one. Not using your turn signal. Maybe the simplest of actions one could take, and yet people are just it's like they're sickened by it. Using a turn signal is just out of the question. They just absolutely not. I have no time for such things. And it just blows my mind. You know, because, you know, maybe if it's like 3 in the morning and you're out in the middle of nowhere by yourself, nobody cares if you don't use a turn signal. But here, when you're in 8 lanes of traffic and you don't use a signal and you cut off a truck, you know, best case scenario, you get honked at and somebody flips you the bird. Worst case scenario, you cause like a 100-car pile up, somebody gets hurt. It just, I can't see the pro to not using a turn signal versus the multitude of cons that come with it. It just, it boggles the mind. I see people, you know, in a sports car or whatever, cut across 2 or 3 lanes of traffic. And well, just the other day, matter of fact, when I was going up to Campbellford, Ontario to pick up chocolate, I was coming through Chattanooga, and they've got a bunch of construction coming on through there anyway. And it was in the middle of the day. This cat in a black Honda I seen him out my mirror, cut from the far passing lane over behind me, and was trying to pass around the slow lane on the outside of me. Cut off a school bus. School bus driver locked it up, white smoke rolling, and it just, it scared me to death. You know, for no good reason. I mean, if you're in such a hurry, you should have left the house a little earlier, you know, at least. It's just like people have no sense about a lot of things. People have no sense that, oh, there are other people on this planet and they're not just obstacles that I have to evade as quickly as I can so that I can get to work at my 9 to 5. It just, yet again, blows my mind out the back of my head. It's crazy. Crazy to me. Let's see, is there anything else that pisses me off? Probably. For sure. Number 3. It's when people are trying to exit and there's a line of traffic. People fly up ahead past of you and try to merge at the last second. Just try to squeeze in, just to try to save themselves 5 minutes. And if it's me and I'm up there and I see that happen, instead of them just like signaling and get over in front of somebody and waving, no thank you, instead of they try to fly up ahead of you and cut you off, I'll go out of my way to make sure they don't get in front of me. Because a lot of the time they'll fly up ahead of you and lock their brakes up because people aren't letting them over, and people in this lane who are trying to continue on have to make a move. And I can't tell you how many close calls I've seen from that very thing happening. It just, you know, it comes back to not being patient. People just get in so big a hurry that they're not even thinking. Or they are thinking, but it's only of themselves. You know, how quick can I get to where I'm going as fast as possible all the time, no stop. But yeah, I sure called it. We're crawling right now. That's just how it goes sometimes. Alright, let's see. What else pisses me off? Okay, number 4. Let's say I'm doing the speed limit, doing 70 on the highway, and the car in front of me is doing 65. I got nobody beside me. Use my signal, I'm gonna pass them. Well, it's like they kind of snap back to reality, or they're checking their DMs and they're dry, and they look back at the road and they're like, oh, this truck's trying to pass me, so I'm gonna speed back up. So they floor it, and then they're up doing 75, 80, and I just say, okay, whatever. I signal, I get back over behind them. When like a mile or two down the road, and they're back to doing 65. It's maddening. The fluctuations in traffic like that, it causes people, it causes more interactions between vehicles. The more moves that people have to make around you, the bigger chance there is of a collision. And I don't know if you've ever been in a collision or not, but it ain't fun. You know, at the very least, you know, nobody's hurt, except, you know, you're stuck for hours waiting on either a tow or the law to come by, and all the fun stuff that comes with that. All because you couldn't wait, you know, however long until you get to your next exit, or you can get back home or wherever the hell you're going. I mean, this trip that I'm on, it's just like a 650 mile round trip. You know, it's right at the limit of what you can drive in an 11-hour day. Well, I mean, you could probably push it a little bit more, but you'd have to get really lucky with traffic. You know, this is about the limit of what you can honestly expect. And the people who are the ones doing the fluctuating, you know, if you're gonna be on the highway going somewhere that's any amount of distance, you're gonna be using your cruise control, honestly. I mean, if older vehicles, you won't be able to, but you know, these people who are in such a hurry to drive 20 or 30 miles are just such a pain in the ass for the short time that they're with you on the road. Well, they can just fall in line and take a chill pill and be there before you know it. People don't think like that. They're thinking instant gratification. I want to be there 10 minutes ago, and if anybody's in front of me or behind, in my way, sorry about your luck. Can't stand it. They test my patience. I'm usually Zen master, but the way people drive, man, just, and don't get me started on when it's going to start snowing. It may not snow down here, but once every 4 or 5 years or whatever. But up north in Kentucky, it seems like whenever it snows, man, people lose their minds. It's like it's the first time they've ever seen snow all over again. Now up in Ontario, you know, where there's, you know, 10-foot snow drifts piled up on either side of the road for months because it never gets warm enough for it to melt, they've got it figured out up there. And the roads are always super treated, and you know, they get caravans of snow plows, and everything's really well maintained. And so that makes it easier. Not that the people back in Kentucky don't maintain the roads well, it's just that the amount of snow that Kentucky gets is pitiful compared to what they will have. I have finally made it back to 75, getting ready to merge right now. And I'm hoping for a nice, smooth, direct route. I don't want no problems from nobody. Just trying to get home. Play some God of War. And editing these videos is not easy. I don't know what I thought went into it, but I mean, if you're gonna do it with any amount of seriousness, it takes time to cut and edit and stitch and trim and upload. All that put together, it's like a part-time job. I enjoy it because for my whole career, it's just been me. You know, I've maybe had another driver in a vehicle 1% of the time, and you know, all these cool places I've gotten to go see, and you know, all these sunrises and full moons and sunsets and lakes and rivers and all this beautiful scenery that I've been able to see. I've not been able to share it with anybody, and so that's a big motivating factor for me making these videos, is just so that I can show the people that I give a damn about some of the cool stuff I get to see. I'll tell you a story. I was over the road a couple years ago, and I had a pickup in Mobile, Alabama, and there is a bridge, massive bridge down there, and I was coming through. It was you know, maybe 5 o'clock. It was in the middle of summer, maybe 5 o'clock, and there wasn't no traffic. It was super peaceful, and the sun was just starting to come up. And as I climbed this bridge, and right as I peeked over the top, there was one of the prettiest sunrises I'd ever seen in my life. I'd give money to be able to record that, but it's just like this little crimson pink sliver had just broken over the horizon at the top of this bridge. And man, because it seemed pitch black as I was approaching the bridge, and then when I got to the peak, man, the clouds lit up. I mean, it just looked like a massive flower. And it was, I think about it pretty often. But that's just one awesome story. I've got so many cool vistas in my head that describing them just doesn't do it any justice at all. Hell, I mean, a video or pictures wouldn't do it justice either. But that's easily one of my favorite parts about this career. And it's never boring. I mean, you know, yeah, it is. You know, you get on the highway and it's just you and the road, and there's nothing else to do but listen to music, or, you know, listen to audiobooks or go insane. Listen to a lot of music, and I've listened to like 100 hours worth of audiobooks in the past few months. It's nice to pass the time because ain't nobody up at 2, 3 in the morning. Nobody normal anyway to talk to. Alright, pal, I'm gonna pass you. You're fluctuating, and that trailer looks like it might come apart at any moment, so I'm just gonna dispatch you to the twilight. Be gone. I've seen some wild stuff. And in all my thousands of miles, oh God, here I go again. I'm gonna say something dumb, and it's gonna happen. I've only ever hit one deer. I don't have any wood in here. You know, but I'm also super careful from that because this job that I was on last year, we were hauling for Amazon. We were doing shuttle work, just drop and hook, take trailer to point A to point B, back again, overnight. Started at 5 o'clock, you got off at 5 in the morning. That was really where I fine-tuned my backing skills, because these lots that they stack trailers in, you know, you needed a yard dog, one of those little tiny trailer movers to get. You really should have had one, but we didn't. And instead, there was me and a 1991 Freightliner FLD. You know, it's like driving a school bus turned sideways. So, you know, you really had to fine tune, because you can't just be in there bumper carring trailers around. So that was a very interesting time. There's a lot of cool folks who work at Amazon there at Lex 2. You guys are great. And you know, we would haul trailers to the Kentucky Speedway there in Sparta, and I really enjoyed going there. It's a nice, pretty drive, and the people that worked there were a joy to know. But yeah, I miss that group of folks. They were good, you know, because we were running 6 days a week over there. You know, we were doing the local haul. We never ran outside of 150 miles. It was awesome. Yeah. And sometimes they wouldn't have any trailers for me to move, and so I'd just be kind of hanging out at the guard shack with them, and you know, end up spending a lot of time with these guys. And a lot of them have gotten their CDLs now too, so that's really cool. Amazon paid for them to get their CDLs, which is really cool. Yeah, baby, I'm on 70, 75 right now. We are doing 70, and so far it seems like we're doing well. Get outside of Atlanta, get in a groove, find a nice pocket to hang out in, and be home before you know it. But I'm gonna hop off here and play some music. You guys take care, and we'll see you next time. Peace out. Oh, I almost forgot. Stay grateful.